Thank you to our judges, teachers, students, parents, and talented participants for joining us. Also, I would like to thank our principal, Mr. Hasimul Haq. Let's celebrate this wonderful display of wisdom together. My name is Asam Tamid Zaman. I will be the host for the first part of the event, and I have two co-hosts, Ms. Maisha and Ms. Farzana, who will take care of the rest. The annual debate and oratory competition is a chance for our students to display their skills in the spoken language of English. And now we are honored to have our distinguished judges with us today, Ms. Taslima Bena, Ms. Anita Chaudhary, and Ms. Sabina Akhtar. I request you to go to the judge seating. Thank you. In the purest form of power. And today we will witness the clash of exciting and insightful ideas. So let's introduce our debaters. Team A for Amy Claudia from class 10. Musab Ibn Amir from class 9. Jobaida Islam Samiha from class 10. Class 8, sorry. Atia Ibn Toshi from class 7. Now for Team B, who are against, Elma Hoff from class 8. Shefa Binte Reza from class 9. Raisa Khurshid Fiona from class 7. Zohin Ronak Karim from class 9. Now I will pass it on to the moderator to explain today's topics and rules. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed judges, and brilliant participants. It is my honor to welcome you all to this very exciting and intellectual inter-school debate competition, Singapore International School 2024. Today, we are here to witness a very incredible mixture of ideas and spirited arguments. I am Sadika Sharif, a grade 12 student, and I have the privilege of serving you as the moderator for today's debate competition. I will ensure that all the rules are maintained and the debate is going fair. I also encourage all the audience to maintain a quiet environment and please listen and think closely about the perspective being presented by the debaters. So I will be introducing the motion for today. The motion for today's debate is integrating AGI into society, harnessing its attractive benefits. Now let me give you a small review of what that motion means. AI, or artificial intelligence, is an umbrella term for a wide range of systems and technologies designed to perform specific functions. While AGI lies under this huge category of AI, and it is more capable of learning and applying knowledge much like a human does. Now, today we're here to dive into the thrilling benefits of integrating AGI into our society. Picture this, AGI revolutionizing healthcare, transforming education, and helping us address urgent environmental change helps like climate change. How easy the world would be, but wait, with these incredible possibilities come real risks. And the main question is, are we ready to handle them? What if things go wrong? Well, the stakes are really high and the excitement is electric. Before we begin, I would like to explain the rules to ensure a smooth competition. So I will be explaining the rules now. Before each speaker will have 4 minutes to present their arguments. I will ring the bell once at 3-minute mark to signal that there's 1 minute remaining. So please start wrapping up your speech by then. When I ring the bell twice, it will indicate that your time is up and you will have 10 seconds to conclude your speech. Exceeding this time will result in a penalty. At the end of the debate, both the Prime Minister and Leader of Opposition will give closing arguments, each lasting for 4 minutes as well. On the right side, we have the government members today who are in favor of today's motion, and on the left side, we have the opposition member who are against the motion. First of all, I would like to invite the Prime Minister, Amy Claudia, to deliver the opening speech.
Hello everyone, my sincerest greetings to the judges, audience, and my dearest opposition. I'm the Prime Minister, and today I stand here on behalf of the government to prove exactly why the development of AGI would be more beneficial than it would ever be dangerous. Our stance today is firm. To regard AGI solely through a lens of exaggerated fear is to overlook its immense potential and the control we as humans have over our creations. As such, from here onwards, everything opposition has to say will be refuted with no exceptions because they are wrong. We live in an era marked by incredible technological advancements, yet human ambition drives us to reach even greater heights. So much so that we have very creatively come up with the fictional concept of a system referred to as AGI. AGI is a theoretical super AI that could match or even surpass human capacity, which gives us an amazing opportunity to address our most pressing global challenges, societal issues, if you will, be it climate change, healthcare, poverty, general equality, education, and beyond, which my teammates will further discuss. To those who argue, aka our lovely opposition, that AGI's potential dangers and disadvantages outweigh these benefits, as in acts as the cure to all human problems in existence, let's be clear. Any and every technology carries inherent risk, especially if misused. To claim that the risks of AGI are simply too great and that pursuing AGI is akin to playing with fire is silly and irrational because it dismisses the significant benefits it could offer. Because here's the thing, every major advancement ever, from electricity to vaccines and the internet, came with its own risks. But we've learned to manage them. People initially did not like these technologies either, but imagine life without them. Could you? AGI will be no different, and its benefits will radically outnumber its risks because it's being developed in an era of global cooperation. The opposition would probably have us believe that AGI is inherently uncontrollable and unpredictable that could somehow develop motivations misaligned with human growth. But again, let's remember, AGI, like any technology, could be built by us humans with clear control mechanisms and fail-safes. With recent advancements in AI, we've already come up with techniques like reinforcement learning and ethical frameworks that will no doubt be even more advanced by the time AGI is invented into existence. Instead of a rogue AGI, the reality is that it will be developed gradually, step by step, with strict oversight from top experts, governments from all around the globe, and international institutions. If we can build AGI at all, we can at least manage its development safely, which is common sense, I fear. The opposition's lack of faith in humanity does not equate to reality, dear judges. The notion that AGI will spiral into chaos and destruction is really just extreme pessimism, and again, ignores the safeguards we already have today. Well, then let's suppose AGI gets hacked or weaponized by criminals, aka gets misused. But hacking what's supposed to be an all-knowing super-intelligent system is not a joke. It's ridiculous to think that the scientists and engineers developing AGI wouldn't already expect such problems, especially for such a large-scale project. So yes, we can imagine there will be plenty of robust cybersecurity systems that prevent manipulation and misuse. In fact, AGI could further improve our ability to detect and prevent cyber attacks, which are, by the way, so common these days that there's nearly one cyber attack every 39 seconds, which is a testament for how much room there still is for improvement in IT. That's millions of dollars lost every hour. The opposition would be right to raise the concern of misuse, but again, this is why we advocate for responsible development, which is far more practical and safe than abandoning AGI altogether. So in short, opposition's arguments from here onwards would have to completely rest on fear-driven assumptions that neglect established facts. AGI will be developed responsibly to ensure it serves humanity. Rejecting AGI out of fear would be rejecting cures for diseases, solutions to global warming, and advancements in human knowledge that could change and save millions of lives. The future with AGI, as the government sees it, is one of collaboration and empowerment, not destruction. I urge this House to see that the potential of AGI is far too great to dismiss or fear. That is all. Thank you.
Now I would like to invite the Leader of Opposition, Emma Hawk, to deliver her speech. was really impactful. Now I will call upon the Deputy Prime Minister, Musab Ahmed.
Hello? Laughable speech by the Leader of Opposition. So, a very good afternoon to everyone. As the Deputy Prime Minister today, I am here to discuss the benefits that AGI will have on the healthcare sector. Now, before I present my arguments, I would like to point out a few things that the Leader of Opposition has said that I do not fully agree with, such as the Leader of Opposition has said that it will completely eradicate and impale human civilization as a whole. However, if we don't take the possible risks, we cannot move forward and get into a global superpower. If we don't take risks, then the world would lead to nowhere where in fact, maybe the Leader of Opposition needs to stop acting like a pessimist and believe in humanity instead of being a coward. If they argue that AGI can make ethical decisions, I will counter by pointing out that humans are also prone to bias and emotional decisions. AGI programmed with ethical algorithms can actually make more rational, less biased decisions humans, especially in areas like justice and health. Let me get back to what I'll be saying. When we watch science fiction movies, most people picture human civilization being completely eradicated by homicidal robots. However, that completely contradicts to what AGI was really built for, suggesting that this apparently dangerous technology can be used to correct quite every possible single flaw in the healthcare sector. This might come off as quite of a shock, because saving the lives of people, when the opposition believes it does the exact opposite, let me explain. Every year, millions and millions of people die from disease for which cures remain a mystery. With AGI, however, we can unlock medical research in ways never before possible. AGI could analyze and process enormous amounts of medical data faster than any human team ever could, predict disease outbreaks, and tailor medical treatment at a molecular level, and so on. Prototypes for these using AI already exist from 2018, and all its clinical trials are held by an Oxford hospital, and a direct proof to what AGI is possible for. And it also has the potential to solve diseases like cancer. Imagine all the benefits that you could have from it. Doctors would no longer have to grieve the patients they couldn't cure. People would no longer have to mourn the death of those they love, and children can live long and prosperous lives.
As the Deputy Leader of the Opposition Party, my name is Shefa bin Teresa, and I stand before you today to voice a critical perspective on the rapid advancement of artificial intelligence, which the government seems to have ignored. While the government may herald AI as a beacon of progress, we must confront the pressing questions it raises about accountability and control. Experts like Stuart Russell, professor of computer science at UC Berkeley, warn that if robots operate beyond control, they might not align with human values, leading to unintended consequences. If our goals remain misaligned with those programmed into these systems, we risk creating entities that operate beyond our control and understanding. Who's taking accountability for that? Surely not the government who are advocating for implementing AGI into our society. With a creation that acts, moves, and thinks like humans, can we genuinely expect to maintain our privacy? While AGI might have the capacity for complex decision-making and problem-solving, where is the conversation about its understanding of human emotions? The ability of AGI to process data does not translate into respect for personal boundaries or an understanding of privacy. Without careful consideration and regulation, our private lives may become an open book in front of something devoid of empathy. Humans being humans, there will always be someone who crosses the line. Yes, you can argue that AGI will help us in ways that are unimaginable and there will be laws to use it ethically, but are we really using AI ethically? The answer? We're not. So what makes you think that AGI, a significantly much better version of AI, will ever be used ethically? Right now, you can make music with AI, make art with AI, and do much of other crazy stuff with AI. So these things can be done in a human way, in a way that does not even need any data input. What will we do? An interesting point that the Deputy Prime Minister mentioned are risks, which risks are supposed to help better, not lead to utopia. And one thing he mentioned, he kept mentioning this thing about sci-fi. Really, this is real world. We are not in a movie. And he mentioned another thing about healthcare, which who's going to AI computers to help in healthcare. This is going to be expensive, especially for developing countries like us. We do not have the resources to fund these these supercomputers. Also, he mentioned something about cancer. Which did you not listen to the leader of opposition when she mentioned that cancer is caused by cells multiplying, which is 37.2 trillion cells. So who is going to analyze those? And really, I don't understand why we're in such a rush to replace all the work that humans have done. At what point does this all cross an enormous ethical line? And we're not talking about fiction here, we're talking about literally rewriting history. No human being could ever compete with the volume of output these new tools can generate. With AI, we're not learning anything this way, so introducing AGI to the mix will only make it worse. Part of why art is special is that it's difficult to make, even with the tools right in front of you. It takes practice, it takes skill, and every time you do it, you expand on that skill. Every song you hear, every movie you watch, this was a result of thousands of hours of trial and error. You can fail a million times and use that experience to finally succeed. Making art with the help of AGI will not teach anyone anything, and the true essence of what makes us humans will disappear. As stewards of our future, let us prioritize human values and safety above all else in this brave new world of artificial intelligence. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy. I'd like to invite the Member of Government, Zubaida Samiha, to address the House.
Good morning, respective judges and my fellow. I, Samiha, the Member of Government, firmly believe that AGI is not a threat, but a launchpad into a world where human potential and creativity can flourish like never before. While our dear opponents worry their little heads over dystopian horror, we're looking ahead to the opportunities that AGI actually brings to the humanities state. So before I continue with my argument, I would like to approach that our dear deputy leader of opposition has mentioned, which I definitely do not agree with. It is that she said, robots won't go beyond our control because we have scientists working on Masterity Act. There's a common fear these days with every upgrade in AI, like ChatGPT, that AGI might just kick us human beings out of our own creative fields. Very pathetic, my lord, but history tells us a different story. For centuries, humans have invented tools, from the printing press to the internet. To amplify our creative potential, AGI is simply the next leap forward. Imagine a novelist with a writer's block or an artist who feels lost. AGI would neither write a book nor generate AI art for them because it wouldn't be allowed to do so. We have seen AI being misused to plagiarize essays and make digital art. But as humans, we learn from our mistakes and so move without any doubt, and would make sure that there are strict ethical policies established which would ensure that AGI can't act as a replacement but is instead used for inspiration. It would suggest us prompts, tutorials, and help by giving second opinions, but it would still leave the final decision in humans' hands, and which is the main point, so it would be a powerful collaborator, not a replacement. Then there's a bigger problem that AGI has the ability to solve. It's that our world needs rapid response system for existential threats. So AGI could detect weather anomalies or potential pandemics in real time and issue warnings before they become life-threatening disasters. In the US, even now in 2024, just a month ago, Hurricane Helene has taken over 200 lives. If properly applied, AGI could help us get that number to zero, and that's the message that we send my respective judges. Moving on now, you could be thinking, developing AGI would require tons of energy, create lots of waste. You would be right. I bet you would be right, but considering AGI is fiction, AGI is a fictional thing and is a fantasy that would take at least 50 years to be invented, and humanity would figure out how to create more energy efficient systems by then, since we're constantly researching. Furthermore, once AGI is developed, it could help us to use design systems that minimize waste. AGI could dramatically accelerate the development of renewable resources, such as even more efficient solar systems and etc., thus reducing carbon footprint. Now, I hope our opposition doesn't forget to take into account the long-term benefits and risks typically outweigh development costs when it comes to solving topics as critical as climate change, healthcare shortages, and poverty. When you really think about it, the costs are super insignificant compared to the potential for positive transformation. I mean, what is more important to you? Saving your brothers and sisters' life and preserving art for your future generations, or money, which is easily can be acquired from the investors? After all, this is not your school project, but a global effort at bettering humanity. Now, the opposite team will argue that AGI is still dangerous. They'll warn us of a future where AGI controls every aspect of human life. But let's be clear, we have stated millions and millions of times, AGI is here to enhance, not to replace our autonomy. So instead of robbing us of our will, it would provide us for tools to make us more informed and pursue our dreams freely. In conclusion, AGI offers a future where human creativity, safety, and autonomy are elevated, not sacrificed. So I would like to thank our Deputy Leader of Opposition for giving me tons of points to declare her. The real danger is in embracing AGI. It's to failing to recognize its potential. Thank you.
Thank you, Member of Government, for your clear, impactful, and engaging points. Raisa Khurshid to address the House.
Good morning to the esteemed judges and audience. I am Raisa Kushit Fiona and I am a member of the opposition. I am the least funniest person I know, so bear with me as we talk about the things that people think AGI can help with. For example, its assistance in the prediction of climate change, or in the supposed real problem, anthropogenic global warming, or in short, AGW. The hype around AGI swoop in to tackle global warming is often over-exaggerated. Like the time your friends claim that they can eat an entire pizza by themselves. Spoiler, they couldn't. Sure, AGI might be a whiz at processing data faster than you can say climate crisis, but let's be real. Climate change isn't just a tech problem. So achieving any meaningful reduction in carbon emissions requires more than just crunching numbers. It needs international policies that actually get enforced. We need systemic changes, folks. Shifting to sustainable energy is like trying to convince your cat to stop knocking things off the table. It requires patience and persistence. Reducing consumption, good luck telling people they can't have the fancy barbecues anymore. Training and operating AGI systems require an enormous amount of computational power, which in turn demands significant energy resources. If these resources aren't sustainably sourced, AGI could actually accelerate the very problem it seeks to solve. For example, many advanced data centers currently rely on fossil fuels. So, meaning that more AI could mean more shift in the energy grid. This irony points to the AGI's potential to unintentionally worsen global warming. I am just a member of the opposition. No fancy judges like our opposition whip. To be honest, our whip is the funniest person I know, but not as funny as the overly optimistic and illogical claims that the member of government seems to have made. So bear with me as we talk about their claims as how they intend to showcase the attractive benefits of AGI. 2 points that the member of opposition made was that human innovation can't be replaced, except it can. While human creativity is unique, AGI will have the thinking like humans. By analyzing vast amounts of data instantly, AGI can generate something beyond the human capabilities. This will lead to people like artists, big or small, to seem unnecessary, unheard, and unseen. AGI can replace human art by creating another art that seems more impressive and pleasing to the eye. Another point that they mentioned was that AGI will help them in their jobs. But if AGI helps them in their jobs, what will their boss see? Well, they will see that the robots are doing most of the jobs, right? So then there's no need to hire humans. This will lead to unemployment. AGI threatens to distribute employment on a massive scale. According to a 2020 report from the World Economic Forum, advancements in AI have already begun replacing roles traditionally filled by humans. More in sectors like manufacturing, retail, and data processing, etc. And to prove your point about all of this, you don't need to be as loud or aggressive as she was. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Member of Opposition, for your additional humor to the debate and your wonderful perspective. The floor is now open for the government whip, if not Toshi, to speak.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all the esteemed judges, fellow debaters, and dear all. Before starting, the members of opposition sound rather unserious and like a bunch of wannabe comedians. But we, the government, will remain very sincere and mindful to the motion. It seems like our opposition would like to speak in our favor. We have repeatedly emphasized on regulation, so opposition must stop listening to us. Opposition is undermining the struggles of artists. Now, imagine a world where the laws aren't exploited by the elites in the current socioeconomic hierarchy, where justice isn't swayed by power or wealth anymore, and instead is strictly enforced when dealing with controversial dilemmas such as pro-life or pro-choice, should a war be allowed with every single potential consequences being kept in mind. With AGI, this wouldn't be just another hopeless dream, but the living reality. We often hear about the fear of AGI's goals being misaligned with human values. However, let's not forget that we humans are fallible by nature, which means that our decisions are usually influenced by bias, greed, and incompetence. Three errors which AGI would completely eradicate. Examples include in the world of criminal justice, where people often resort to corruption and bribery, leading to an innocent series being wasted behind bars. A Johns Hopkins University survey concluded that about 25% of the respondents felt unfairly treated by law enforcement based on their race and social class, which a robot would not do. AGI can be made to strictly follow guidelines based on human logic, moral, and principles, thus maintaining actual law and order, leading to fairer outcomes, rather than by unjust partiality towards a victim or a defendant. To prevent AGI itself from being politically biased, it would be trained using diverse data sets from various demographics, along with extra guidelines prohibiting bias entirely. Moving to my second argument, esteemed judges, agriculture is the prime source of income in many developing countries, like our own Bangladesh. But for improper and backdated farming practices, farmers face great crop yield losses every year. However, AGI systems could solve that by ensuring better crop cultivation, resulting in an increase of crop yields, annual GDP of a country, and the income of small-scale farmers. In fact, a research done by Stanford University found that AGI could enhance predictive analytics in agriculture, increasing pest forecast accuracy by 25%. Another point to be noted is that education is a crucial factor in an individual and a country's growth, but it's currently being distributed extremely unevenly among people. According to UNESCO, 773 million adults lack basic literacy in the year 2021. Countries like Finland have a literacy rate of 100%, then you have countries like Nigeria with only 19.1%, which means that 1 out of 5 people can write just basic and read basic language. And AGI systems could change that by tutoring the underserved populace of the world in basic subjects and even advanced science. A research by MIT University highlighted that AGI-driven tutoring systems can increase access to education by 40%. Nonetheless, we aren't trying to make AGI look like an overpowered hero, though it is. Agriculture, the law, and education are jokes after all. Our livelihoods depend on these three. So why dismiss AGI and abandon such a wonderful opportunity just because of our opposition? We strongly advocate the use of making use of their benefits as our fellow counterparts and not see them as a potential threat and not cowards like our opposition right here. Thank you. Have a great day.
Well done, Government Whip, for your outstanding explanation of the topic. The floor is now open for the opposition whip, Zohin Ronan, to speak and make a strong defense.
Good morning, everyone. I'm the opposition whip, the one and only Zohin. Sitting there was pure 16 minutes of pain, listening to all the bogus speeches that my government has provided. They have been overlooking the amount of chain problems that AGI will cause. Considering the problems in the beginning and what the problems will lead up to, they're simply ignoring the amount of destruction AI and AGI will cause. Considering the unethical ways we use AI already and the amount of unethical ways the governments will use AGI, you never know how destructive the things will become in the government and in the entire world. The entire global stability is at risk when the amount of decision-taking power, decision-making power, decision-generative power is taken over by AGI. The potential for AGI to create strategic wars and life and death decisions is completely dangerous. A huge problem that AGI will have is in the economy. You guys can keep talking about how it will improve the GDP or how it can enhance education. But you're overlooking the fact that the amount of jobs it will replace. A 2020 Economic Forum report has suggested that by 2025, 85 million jobs worldwide will be replaced. Now have fun counting that. Now, let's talk about developing nations. Developing nations cannot afford AGI, I'm sorry about that. But if you're talking about suggestions given by other nations, well, aren't you just relying on them? Well, if you're thinking about creating something that can help everyone, I think you should use your own brain instead, because human thoughts are always beaten by AGI. Listen, when was the last time you wrote an essay and thought, no, I could have wrote better than AGI? And I think that fun should be there when you're writing something, when you're drawing it, that excitement, that feeling of pleasure when you're done with it. I think that should remain all the time, every time. Now let's review some points that they've said. For example, they talked about how it can prevent cancer. Now, when you hear the word cancer, the first word that comes to your mind is government. Because let me remind you, there were cures of cancer. But the government was evil enough to assassinate the ones who create the solutions for it. So, how are you even thinking about these companies that create chemotherapy? You're thinking that they're going to go down as well. They're going to go down. Chemotherapy companies, they will also see things that they will also see downfall in their companies as well. You're talking about AGI being unbiased. Well, who created AGI? It's us humans, right? What are we humans? Biased. Now, if you're creating AGI and then you think that it's not going to be biased, well, the scientists right now, they're digging their own graves. Considering the fact that it will replace them in the future, it will replace us in the future. Education will not be a thing. This 15 years you're wasting for studying, it will completely go down the drain if AGI is there. It will replace all of our ideologies. We will not be the dream engineers, the dream scientists that our moms ever dreamed of. Thank you very much.
Thank you, opposition lead, for organizing your argument so effectively. We would now like to invite the opposition leader to provide a closing argument against the motion.
Okay. After I came to school today, there was something written in our hallway. To make your argument valid, to make it logical, you do not have to shout. I guess a member of government has to learn that. Another thing the government side has to learn is to listen to what other people are saying. Because, as I mentioned, AGI is created by us. It is definitely biased. You want another proof? Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla Motors and the CEO of SpaceX, when making OpenAI, said the bot multiple times showed AI is biased. What is AI? AI is the primary stage of AGI. What do you think? It will be unbiased? That we will just magically control it? Climate change? You're talking about climate change? Do we not know what do we have to do climate change? Do we not know we have to reduce our carbon emissions? How many of us do that? The judges? Us? No one does that. Even the government doesn't do that. What is AGI going to magically remove all the carbon from the atmosphere? Well, come on. We're not thinking about this pessimistically. We're thinking about this logically. When you cannot even provide a point that what will happen to the jobs of the people who lose their jobs, as my whip mentioned, by 2025, 85 million people who lost their jobs, you cannot even say any opportunities. What is AGI going to do? Let me just give you one example which will clearly show you why their arguments are illogical and baseless. Okay, let's start. Healthcare, right? It was mentioned so many times over here. Let's start with that. Suppose you're working as a healthcare employee, but are you, suppose a janitor, right? What happens? AGI is elected once. Your employer buys AGI once. The investment, one time. So, after a week, your employer is going to see AGI is doing all your work for you. After 2 weeks, is going to think, oh wow, AGI can just do this. Why should I give you the salary every single month, every single year? And that is when your unemployment comes to mind.
that is when your unemployment rises. Fine, after 2 months, you're unemployed. That's not happening just to you. Spoiler, it's not. It's happening to everyone around you, your family, your friends, everybody in the society. That, when the breadwinner of the family is not earning, everybody sits at home. The children don't go to school. Who are the children? They are the future leaders. And if they don't study, who's going to lead us? Well, you guessed it, no one. So, this chain reaction shows you that AGI will not only lead us to our doom, but it will eradicate humankind if it's not stopped now. Steam engines, we have all heard about